say a word, Siddischer word. First we'll sing a liegen. Omar Abaye, 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 Omar Abaye. Talmidei Chachomim Marvim Shalem Shalem B'Olam Marvim Shalem Shalem B'Olam Marvim Shalem B'Olam Shenemar V'chol banayich Limudei Hashem V'rav Shalem banayich. This is Farlak Beimer. No, Omer Abaye, Amol Gven Eden was, they used to say, Omer Abaye is like the Rebester. Mr. Jacobson, a joke, he says, you want to hear a joke? Talmidei Chachomim Marvim Shalom B'Olam. The truth is, we're celebrating Lag Baimer, and this was a time when the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva were dying, and one of the reasons it says because there was no Avos Yisrael, they were so to speak. How is that possible? The Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva. And the Rebbe addressed it many times, and he said that each one of them meant L'Shem Shemayim. He heard himself the pshat from Rabbi Akiva. He heard this Torah from Rabbi Akiva, and it has to be only the way he heard it. And usually when there's different people, when they hear the same thing, there's already different opinions. And you have to leave place and respect for other opinions, diverse opinions, and different minhagim, so to speak. Many people, when they became Lubavitchers, they asked the Rebbe what to do, and the Rebbe said always to continue on with the traditions of their families. The Rebbe spoke many times about Minhag Noshim Zkenis B'Yisrael is Terahi, Minhag Yisrael Terahi, that if you're a Sephardi, do your Sephardi minhagim. If you're a Teimaner, do your Teimaner minhagim. If you're Ashkenazi, do your Ashkenazi minhagim. You're a Pelasha Chassid, do your Pelasha minhagim. Everyone, you're Russian Chassid, do your Russian minhagim. Everyone should keep up the traditions from his family and his parents. And this is what the Rebbe promoted, that to integrate. This is today's world is a world of integration that people anyway are able to interact in a way that never existed before because of the transportation and the internet and the world in general is ready for Mashiach to come, and the world in general is ready to the kibbutz goliaths, that all the Eden to come back to Eretz Yisrael, and Mashiach will kabetz nitchei Yisrael. And the Rebbe started to do his work already through the shluchim, vatum to look to echad echad Beis Yisrael. In the time of Rabbi Akiva and his Talmidim, and there was a Shimon Bar Yochai, there was Rabbi Koichva there, and Rabbi Akiva said that he is Mashiach. They already wanted to build the Beis Hamikdash, the third one. They already started even. The Yidden then was the greatest of Tanoim, Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who Rabbi Akiva said, Dayach Shani Be'eracha Makich Kechacha. There was the greatest tzaddikim then, and this was the time, the opportune time, that, and if things worked out, it would have been the third Beis Hamikdash and Mashiach and Gula and all that. So this is why Yidden mourn all these years, and now celebrate like Ba'emer. There was a lot of tzaras by Yidden, but this mourning was not just a mourning of that so many thousands of Talmidim died. There was many thousands of people who got killed on Kiddush Hashem, just in our generation alone, the Nazis and the Machshmom and the Crusaders and so on and so forth. So what is this mourning, and what is this celebration, and what is this talk all about? It's all about the disappointment, and on the contrary, the hope that Bahai Sefer Yetzim Begalusa, that with the Zehar and with Chassidus and with Pnimiyas HaTeirah, that is revealed before the Geolah, because after all, when Mashiach comes, this is Taimei Chaim Zochot, this is a taste before Mashiach comes, that Mayonas HaChochma, not only in the world with the internet and with the phones and all that, this is the opened up the times since the times that it developed in the world, since the times the Chassidus came in and revealed the Pnimiyas HaTeirah and revealed it so much that it's shaykh, that everyone should have access to it, and your futza minus chutza. One of the reasons that it's so important, because when a person is table in a mayon, you don't need a shear. As soon as you're in the mayon, you have all of it. One of the things you learn out from Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, the Rebbe said that it was Teirasa Umnasei, that his whole life was Teirah, nothing else. And it was more the Ruchnisdik side. Even when he was in the Emaira, he was in the hiding from for the years that he was hiding there, 13 years that he was hiding there. There was a miracle. There was a boxer tree. There was a fountain of water. So why wasn't there a miracle? There should be an esrog and a lulav, and there was no miracle, because his aveda from Teirah mitzvahs was ruchnisdik. The Rebbe says that Teirah mitzvahs b'chlal you can't do with a miracle, because it brings the story from the Alter Rebbe that when they took him over a river and he wanted to be Chadash Levana, and he asked by the captain, and he didn't agree. So, and then the boat stopped; it wouldn't go. And the captain realized that he's a holy man, so he said to him that he's and then the Alter Rebbe let them rowing the boat again, or drive the boat again, whatever it was. And then he asked him, and then he was masking, and he gave him a letter to bless him, but he said he didn't want to do it with a miracle. He didn't want to do Kiddush Levana with you don't do mitzvahs, Teirah mitzvahs you don't do with the you have to do it b'derech hateva. So Rav Shimon Bar Yochai was l'mayla b'derech hateva, terasa umnasei. So what do we learn out from it? So the Rebbe explains that even if we're not terasa umnasei, we're not dedicated day and night to learn. There are certain people who do maybe, but most people today go to work and they're not totally so. But in the time that you're learning, that hour that you have your shir, you should dedicate yourself totally and forget about everything. In this hour that you're davening, you should daven totally committed to davening. And the same thing, every mitzvah that you do, you should do it wholeheartedly. You shouldn't do it partly or mechanically. When you say somebody is used to doing something all the time, and it's mitzvahs hanashim l'moda, but when it comes, the Rebbe taught us the way that tzaddik does it is not mitzvahs hanashim l'moda. It means menafshe kora. The Rabbi Chia, it says when it came to Moedim, his body bent down by itself. The Rebbe Rashabi says when he made a decision, that decision he was machli the svara rishena. This is the decision he did. When somebody came a chassid and asked him by yechidus something, should he do that business or not? It was svara rishena. This is what he trained himself. That when he was 13 years old, he made the achlota that the Rebbe Rashab said that his body, his guf should do what Torah mitzvahs on what the Eibishter wants. So whatever the Eibishter wants, and whatever Torah mitzvah says that you have to do at this time, this is what his body did. So Aid darf sich eingewöhnen that he should know, at least this idea should be that it comes Shabbos, it should be Shabbosdik. It comes to davening, as also davening sich. It's natural that his guf, he should train himself, is a natural extension and a dedication to Hashem, an extension from his neshama, dedication to Hashem, and he does whatever Torah mitzvahs wants him to do, b'ma'atzmei, from himself. He doesn't have to convince himself, because this is the real essence of a yid is what Hashem wants through Torah and mitzvahs. So this is the fire that we make, the bonfire. This is what the whole Klal Yisrael comes together, and this is what the Rebbe promoted, parades that to bring it out in the open, and that the whole world should see that we're making parades, and the Yiddish world should celebrate with each other, with simcha and with bands and music and the bonfire, to celebrate the coming of the Geula, to celebrate Torah and mitzvahs and the coming of Mashiach, B'Korah Mamish. I just wanted to say something that happened this week. It's also good to know in practical life. My son Mandy called yesterday from his wife called. He was in terrible pain. They took him to the hospital, and I opened up a igris. I was actually yesterday morning in the ale, and I was mispalel naturally, and I opened up a igris, and the Rebbe said that he has to be b'simcha, and before he comes home, he should be healthy, and a very beautiful letter that anything that takes away from simcha and bria zaguf is part of it to serve Hashem. So it has to be bria zaguf, it has to be b'simcha, and yifutzamaynasecha chutza the mayonis, and that's what I said before, that mayonis is when you touch somebody mitavot chassidus, you it's like bringing him to the mikveh and he becomes kuli toyer, tuli kodesh. When a chassid goes to do mitzvahim in the name of the Rebbe, he's a shliach of the Rebbe. When he goes and he touches another yid, it's like the Rebbe comes to him and brings the whole mayon and purifies that whole yid, that the whole yid gets out of this klippe and that golus and nafkim and begolusa and he becomes goladik and he becomes a frumer yid and Torah mitzvahs, because not everybody could move another yid and clean them out 1, 2, 3. It's a big process, but in the same time, when the shliach and the chassid of the Rebbe goes with the keches that the Rebbe is from the Mashaleach, it really, we see and we have seen many times that it's really unbelievable. It's all as bashgacha pratis, and it's all amazing to see how a person gives himself a changeover min hakotza lakotza, and it becomes a frum yid, a chassidus yid, and so on and so forth. This is what we celebrate, having those great tzaddikim and tanoim, talmidei chachamim marvim shalom be'elam, that those talmidei chachamim, shalom is through Torah, shalom is through yagdol Torah v'yadir, that when two talmidei chachamim actually, once there was a talmid from the Alter Rebbe who actually he did something that wasn't nice to the Baruch Mezherbush, and the Alter Rebbe explained to him later that he was playing with fire because that's Mechila, because you can't mix in between these great tzaddikim. Don't remember exactly the story, but this is the gist of it. That the gist of it is those great tzaddikim who had differences of opinions, but their shalom and achdus are certainly totally dedicated to Hashem, Hashem Shemayim, and so on and so forth. And us people for sure have no right to mix in. I also want to, so I want to say that today in the morning, Baruch Hashem, it was a kidney stone that went out, and he asked me yesterday, my son Mendy, should he continue on? He had a celebration for Shabbos and for Sunday, a parade. I said, continue on the celebration. You got a letter from the Rebbe. You're going to be healthy and well. And he called me up today in the morning. He sent a message today in the morning that it went out, and he just has to rest a little, but he'll be already fine, Baruch Hashem, for Shabbos and for like Eimer. So we want to thank the Rebbe for the brachas, and we want to thank Hashem for that Mendy is Baruch Hashem gesund and could celebrate like Eimer with Klal Yisrael. I also wanted to say something about this parsha with the Rabbi Pinson, that he went to the Pope, the Eisher, whatever it is. I just want to say that I personally, I follow and I know a rabbi like Rabbi Pinson. I know Rabbi Gluck. These are, and I know Shiner, the one who makes the trips. I don't know details, what's their Aveda in Avedas Hashem, but I do know that these are people that are totally dedicated and devoted to Klal Yisrael. The amount of favors and Maisim Tevim that a Yid like Rabbi Gluck did, and his son, to help anyone in Klal Yisrael, a total dedication, a lifetime of dedication, whether someone's in prison, whether someone is in drugs, whether someone is in the cave in the Klal Yisrael, wherever there's needed and real issues that nobody else has been able to. These are the people who really move mountains. They shook up the world with their Maisim Tevim. This Shiner, I've been to Uman. I've seen the amount of tzedakah of a chesed, and he gave me a chabaros last summer. He gave me tables and chairs with a smile. Gave me a whole chabaros. He said, "Take this garbage away from here. I'll make you a new one." In one night, Motzei Shabbos, they came in, the whole company. They built me a whole new shul. And we had 400 people davening over there. And Chabad, and he put up a picture of the Rebbe at 10 stories high. It should be and people ask me, why is there a picture of the Rebbe in Uman? And I said, very simple, because they come to Reb Nachman, they want to know what a tzaddik looks like. This is the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Everybody knows what the Lubavitcher Rebbe looks like, what an Ish Elikim looks like. You say, Atana, Reb Shimon B'choy, Ish Elikim, Kodeshu. You want to know what it looks like. Give a look at a picture of the Rebbe. You'll see what a Tana and the Ish Elikim looks like. And the Rebbe's pale, Yeshua is the cat of words. Now, this week, by my son, wherever I turn, you say, all you have to do is say, Rebbe help, and the Rebbe helps. Open the Igris, go to the Ale. Zayim Ispal, we have a Nasi in Klal Yisrael. I come there in the Ale, there's everybody there. Chassidim, Misnagdim, Frume, Freya. Oh, you didn't know there's an address that we can go and be Mispal. To Mispal to Hashem, but in the holiness and the presence of the Frierdiker Rebbe. And it's the Rebbe sale. Doesn't matter where you are. You can write a zettel and put it in the Igris and be mispal and make a chodesh tevis, and the Rebbe will answer you right there. You don't have to go anywhere. You can go to some 70. You can go and learn the Sikha. Doesn't matter what you do. But so getting back to this Rabbi Pinson and Rabbi Gluck and Shiner, these are three outstanding individuals of Klal Yisrael. They may have made a mistake or not made a mistake. I don't know. If it's a mistake, it's a mistake. But they certainly have not gone to enrice themselves, and they certainly didn't get carried away with covet. They're not people who look for covet. I saw Shiner, I saw Rabbi Gluck, I saw Dov Pinson. They're not looking for covet. They don't need covet. They don't need criticism, but they don't need covet. And we are proud of them. This is a man, Rabbi Pinson, who keeps on teaching Klal Yisrael. He puts himself out on the line constantly. When a person talks and he exposes himself, he can be a private citizen, or he can run his Chabad house in his own neighborhood. He doesn't have to teach the whole Klal Yisrael and put himself out on the line all the time. And those are the people from today that deserve a tremendous, tremendous credit. They have what to give, and they give, and they will keep on giving. And to go knock down somebody and destroy him without even letting him to explain himself, so to speak, and storm up the world. In today's world, it's the mazel is gamze yavor, because today with Facebook and with all, there's so much out there. So today comes, the information comes and goes, and you don't even digest it. It comes and it goes weiter and fertig. But certainly one should not come to conclusions and not to be shvichas damim. These people are at least they deserve the credit that Klal Yisrael owes to them, because these three people, it's known, each and every one of them is a giant in his own right in today's world. So I just want to say that before, like Eimer, we should be massive, and people make mistakes also. People do make mistakes. They wanted to do it quietly. Nobody should know. But in today's environment, things leak out, and not always is possible. Maybe they can't even tell you maybe why they went there. They can't even tell you. Maybe it's involved some people that they had to save from certain tumas or what. Maybe it's certain svarim they needed. Maybe it's certain they wanted to take away certain schmutz from the world. It's not something that they could and have to explain to everybody. But we have to have some covet in derech eretz and treating these people with dignity and respect that they certainly reserve. Have a good Freilichem like Be'emer, should be Agnes Yisrael, and Avos Yisrael, and Simchas Yisrael, and Geulus Yisrael, Tekev, Umiyad, Mamesh, everybody should be making himself to Kabbalah Zatera, Besimcha B'Pnimius. This is the Kabbalah Zatera, Batentera of Pnimius Zatera, the Achone from Kabbalah Zatera, Nigla Chassidus and everything in Shavuos, when Mashiach will be Mamash Tekev, Umiyad Mamesh.